that safe space for you to just share your joy. Like raw, beautiful, blissful, however it shows up for you in that moment. Did you just randomly have a thought and you wanted to tell me about it? Cool. Share. Like, I want to hear your joy. Hello. Welcome to Open Air Creative. This is another episode, obviously. um, Today, I want to discuss sharing your joy and the implications of that sometimes. So, my trip to Antigua was a really big deal. And was something that I needed to experience for a really long time now. So on a family trip in December, met this awesome female bartender, was shamelessly flirting with her, had an incredible time, an incredible experience with her while I was there, and decided that I really wanted to know more about her, even though I know she lives countries away. And went back in April and got to spend more time with this super special person. The connection that I felt and the strength in that, along with just like the pure joy and the intrigue to know more about her, was so strong that I'm like, I knew that if I didn't get to see her again, I would have so many what ifs in the back of my head. So anyways, went out to Antigua, had an incredible time with her. Everything just feels so good and it flows so easily, and I just haven't felt this good in a relationship in a really long time. And it even feels like a pretty big deal to say that I'm in a relationship after 10 years of being single. I definitely had a lot of walls and blocks around my heart for a really, really long time. So now being in a relationship again with somebody where it feels so good. It's almost like I'm in this phase where I'm in the giddy butterfly phase. I want to talk about her. I want to talk about the connection that I'm feeling because I haven't felt this connection with guys in the past. I took myself out of the dating scene for a really long time, and then the past like 3-ish years, I started slowly kind of maybe dabbling with dating here and there, and I never felt this connection. Something always felt like it was missing. And then all of a sudden I'm shocked with this experience and I'm having so many revelations about my life and just everything about the fact that I've always been interested in women, and I've always known that. I've been a bisexual since I was a teenager, but this just feels like it's on a different level because I'm getting to experience being in an actual relationship and getting the quality attention and affection and just the care, the nurturing, the partnership that we are building together. We're there for each other. Like, I feel like she's stepping it up in ways that I haven't experienced in a really long time and I've been craving, or I've only experienced with my female friends who have stepped it up. And I have said that for a really long time. Like, my female friends step it up. They're there for me. We check in on each other. We are there when we need it. We make each other laugh. We are in tune with what the other person needs ahead of time. So I was always just like, I'm just wanting to meet somebody who's willing to step it up. And I just wasn't meeting those people. I kept meeting people that were hitting the bare minimum. And then with her, it's completely different. We work so well together. We both just want to make each other's days easier. So whatever we can do in our days to make that flow easier for the other person, we're doing it without the other person even having to ask or insinuate about it. Like, it's just been such a beautiful experience. So this is where I want to talk about sharing our joy. So I'm in a state right now where I'm in a really joyful state. I am really happy. My heart feels it. I haven't felt this safe to express who I am, to be who I am with a partner. I've always felt like I've had to kind of repress certain aspects of me, and this just feels like I'm being so open. And as I'm talking about this, there are some people, and I know other people have experienced this because I have other friends who go through this too, who, were dating and they'd be so giddy about the person that they're dating. And then in the middle of them talking to me about it, they'd be like, oh my God, I should stop talking about this. It's probably boring you. And I'm like, no, this is such a weird narrative that we have in our society of like, people wanting to stop people from talking about the things that make them happy, especially when it comes to relationship stuff. I think that we're willing to listen to people share more about like their creative ventures or maybe the things that they experience joy in that day. But I find when it comes to relationship stuff and somebody entering into a new relationship, what I have seen from my friends who have shared with me, and I never stop them, is I'm like, no, I want you to share your joy. If you are in this giddy butterfly phase right now, I don't give a shit if I end up getting quote unquote bored, or if and I don't say that, but like, you know, that's how I feel. I'm like, I don't care if I get bored. I don't care if you've told me the same thing about this person multiple times. You're so excited to talk about them. So talk about them. Let me be that safe space for you to just share your joy. Like raw, beautiful, blissful, however it shows up for you in that moment. Did you just randomly have a thought and you wanted to tell me about it? Cool. Share. Like, I want to hear your joy. And when it comes to relationship stuff, the narratives tend to be, there's two that I've experienced a fair bit from, like people that share with me and me hearing what other people say to them and what I'm experiencing as I'm sharing. There tends to be the, oh, it's just the honeymoon phase, that'll end, or people that want to not even listen to you. They roll their eyes because they're just like kind of annoyed because they want to experience the love that you're experiencing or the giddiness that you're experiencing, but they're not in that. So they don't want to hold space for it because they wish that they had it. So there's that, like, I want to silence you because I wish that I was experiencing it kind of jealousy feeling. And then the people that straight up just tell you, oh, it'll end, or that phase doesn't last forever. Like, enjoy it while it's here. Like, it's such a weird thing. So I want people to get more comfortable hearing about people's joy, and I want people to get more comfortable talking about their joy. Like, real, raw, authentic, what is showing up for you? What are the things that make you happy? What are you wanting to tell our world about? What lights you up? What jazzes you up? These are important things. And for me, it was like I lived into this story of my pain with my grief for so long. And now I'm entering into this state where I'm like, it's not that I'm going to let go of these people that I lost. I'm going to miss them constantly. I had a pretty big cry session over it yesterday. There's always going to be things that come up that make us miss them. But the reality is, right now, am I going to continue to choose to live into this past story, this past experience that I had where I lost 3 really important people in my life? They're all gone to death. Like, they aren't here, they're gone. Am I going to live into that narrative of my sadness and my grief with that all the time? Or am I willing to let this be the story that it was, let this be the impact that it had on me in my life, which was large, and it still is, like I said. Am I willing to let that move forward in its own little thing that it needs to do now, but let myself move forward into this new state of joy, right? And so we can choose to live into these old stories that can be painful to live into, and we live into them for far too long. I don't want to like make people think that they have to like rush through their healing, because if you still feel like you have a lot of healing you need to do in this painful thing that might have happened to you, I want to honor that, but I also want you to almost honor what's going on in the transitions of your body. So if you are at a stage where you feel like you're getting messages that it's time to close the door, but you almost have like this weird guilt that if you quote unquote close the door on your past, because you're not actually doing that, it's always going to be part of you, but it's almost like you have that weird kind of guilt that comes over. We need to let go of that. So that is, it's going to be part of your life. It's beautiful. It's always going to be something that made you and developed you into who you are today. But now we get the opportunity to kind of shut it on that one and let this one open up in a really, really beautiful, magnificent way, and honor being in the full present moment of this experience. So that's where I've struggled, is I've always still had my foot in my past because I was just destroyed with what happened. And I was never made valid as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult. My experiences were always invalidated. I was never worthy of what happened to me. I was never worried of the losses that I experienced. I was never worthy. I've never been worthy. So that's that narrative. We need to close the door on that narrative and honor the shit out of the raw happiness that you're feeling now after you've done so much work on healing and moving past the generational traumas, the childhood traumas, the clearing, the hateful words that have been said, all of the stuff that has really honestly slowed you down from progressing in the ways that you could have, which was all part of your journey regardless. But now it's time for us to move into the current joy of what we're experiencing. So, what is this current joy for you? Are you noticing that it shows up in certain moments or with certain people where you get more excited to want to talk about it? Are there people that you feel like are silencing you when you're talking about your joy? Like, I want you to just notice all these little things and then find the people that feel safe for you. Find the people that want to hear about your joy, that want to hear about the beautiful things that you're experiencing and the sensations and just the movement and the vibrational frequency that amplifies when we share our authentic truth, when we share our joy. So it's just so fascinating to know and to experience people that just don't know how to hold space for somebody's joy. Because a lot of times the narrative is, I'll hold space for you, and it tends to be around like, I'll hold space for the hardship that you're going through today, or I'm going to hold space for your emotions or for your, and like the emotions tend to be more like the sadness and the anger or the rage. Like we have a tendency to hold more space for those emotions. But then when it comes to, like I said, and this is a particular experience because I know that people hold space for people's joy. But with entering into a new relationship, I will be honest, I have definitely experienced people, the energy around it feeling like people want me to not talk about it as much. And other people are like, I want to hear all about it. So it's really a 50-50 kind of thing. I'm not sure what the percentages are, but anyways, there are some people that want to hear about it and some people that don't. But I want to say I've experienced more people not feeling like they want to hear about it. And that's really interesting to me because I've been silenced with so many things in my life that I could have easily been like, I guess people don't want to hear about it. I'm not going to talk about it. And right now I'm like, no, I want to freaking honor the shit out of this. Like, I'm ready to use my voice. I'm ready to have it be out. What is this self-expression and what are the things that I'm wanting to express with you today to show you guys that it's good for us to honor these things that are showing up for us. And your joy matters. Your joy is so deserves to be celebrated. And so if you are experiencing having like a new crush and that your friends or people around you are kind of trying to like silence you on that joy or are like just kind of sick of hearing it, even if you don't feel like you've talked about it that much, or maybe you have, I don't know, but you still want to talk about it, talk to me about it. Like, just talk about all the sweet, cute, cheesy little things that you're loving to experience right now. Talk about the affection you're receiving, the jokes, the inside things that you guys have. Like, just tell me about the giddiness that you feel because it deserves to be heard and it deserves to be seen and blasted into the universe because we all know that we need so much more joy. So I don't want people to feel silenced in their joy, and I want our world as a whole to just get way better with holding space for joy as well and being there for people when they are in these really excited moods. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to discuss that today. I just want that to be something that I hope will shift in our world the more that we talk about it, the more that we bring it up, because it's just really fascinating when you see people that don't understand the implications of silencing somebody's pain, but also silencing their joy. And that is, we just need to stop silencing people's expressions. Honestly, as a whole, that's what it is. Like, what is somebody wanting to express with you today? If you don't have the capacity to hold space for it in that moment, I think it's perfectly okay for us to set boundaries or to just explain that. Like, today, I don't have the capacity to hold space for this or to listen to this. Like, if they're in a really, really sad mood or they are really feeling jealous, like, it's okay for people to say that. Like, I'm kind of jealous about this phase that you're in and I just don't feel like talking about it or I don't feel like hearing about it. Then, let's say it's me, I could be like, oh, I totally honor that. Thank you for communicating that with me. That's so beautiful. And then we can have another conversation. And then you find the people that are a safer place for you to then be able to share the giddiness because the giddiness deserves to be expressed. It deserves to be shared and it deserves to be talked about. And so, yeah, if you don't have those safe places within your friends right now or within people around you, give it to me. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear every little detail that you want to share. So that is what I want to discuss today, honoring who we are, honoring the joy that we have and the beauty around us, because it all amplifies the more that we share our authentic truth. And that's the other thing that I'm really noticing with this, is that I feel a different zest in myself the more that I actually talk about the joy that I'm feeling in this moment, or the sadness that I'm feeling in this moment. It's like the more that I'm actually in the present moment and willing to discuss that, opposed to hibernating in my little cocoon and not going to talk about this, and I'm going to be in pain by myself, or I'm going to be in joy by myself. Why not let other people into that, right? Like, why not bring people into the truth of your present moment, opposed to like, oh, 3 months ago I was feeling this and it would have been really nice to have people around. And then people around are like, well, I would have been there for you. So, yeah, I just think it's really good for us to give people the opportunity to have that, and blasting it to the world in really, really beautiful ways so we can amplify that frequency and grow more and build more on those things. So, share your joy with me. I would love to hear more about what you guys are going through, whether it's relationship wise or not relationship wise, anything in your life. Just please share your joy. I want to hear all about it. I love you guys so much. Thank you. And find things to be joyful about this week and share about them.